through the water saving concepts, then reuse and recycle of water, of course, again through the STPs, the various methods through which grey water can be recycled and reused. And today we have Rotarians from all over the country joining this webinar, and I welcome each and every one on this occasion. I request Past District Governor KP Nagesh, please to say a few words on this.
Sir, I am on the move. Please go ahead with the main speaker.
Okay, okay. Prasanna, yeah, you can. I'll do one thing. I'll introduce Prasanna for you all. Those of you who do not know him. Just a moment. Yeah, Mr. B.O. Prasanna Kumar is the chairman of the Indian Plumbing Association, Bengaluru chapter, and a technical committee member of the Indian Plumbing Association. He is the founder partner and joint managing director of Design Tree Services Consultants. He is also the individual member of the World Plumbing Council and Indian Green Building Council accredited professional. Over 3 decades, he is carrying out design services like water supply systems, sewage networks, sewage treatment plants, water treatment plants, solid waste management, storm water management, fire protection system for hundreds of projects. I request B.O. Prasanna Kumar to start his presentation. Yeah, over to B.O. Prasanna Kumar.
Thanks, Mr. B.K. Prasad. Can you give me sharing of the system?
It is there, na?
Yeah. It is there in the screen?
No, you have to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is visible now?
Yes. Very
okay.
good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. B.K. Prasad, for the introduction. And I'm thanking District Governor Nagendra Prasad. I think Mr. Ranjan Jingra, past District Governor, has not joined the meeting as yet. He is the chairman Rotary Water India Mission. And past District Governor Mr. KB Nagesh, and my NEC, he is the NEC member of Rotary India Water Machine. And I also welcome National Secretary IPA, Mr. C.S. Gupta, and my one friend, Mr. B.K. Prasad, is always very enthusiastic, having a lot of engagement. He is the District Director, Water and Sanitation, District 3190, and also he is the National Executive Committee member, Indian Plumbing Association. Thank you for this opportunity given to Indian Plumbing Association. Recently, as Mr. Prasad highlighted, we have undergone a memorandum of understanding to save water, and all that is to see that the thirsty cities should be getting benefited out of all our works in a joint work together. And I happened to go through the guide made by Rotary India Water Machine, wherein acronomy explained the water and your goal set for serving the mankind is really interesting. W stands for watershed development, where holds water where it falls through the check dams. A is the advocacy or the activism, as the fresh water is a very limited source. So that says how to use, that is the advocacy which you are making. T stands for the transformation of water bodies. Yes, water bodies are the pillars of resources of sustainability. And E stands for efficiency of water. Yes, fresh water is a finite resource. This is what I want to make a point. Water is not an infinite resource. We just need to bear in mind, use it as efficiently as possible. That is what E stands for. And of course, rainwater harvesting, it is the source of that water, fresh water, which comes from the, you can say, heaven. It is the a requirement and the order of the day to replenish where we are drawing the water. Through this, Rotary India Water Mission is very thoughtfully addressing the clamoring issue of our nation. And I'm thanking the Rotary India Water Mission for the same. So when you come to our existence of water, our existence is water, nothing else. Absolutely nothing else except our existence is water. About 70% of, you can see the picture on the right hand side, about 70% of our planet surface covering with water, and it plays a very important role on our day-to-day lives. We just can't imagine a day without water in our lives. Yes, water is, we need to underpin every aspect of our existence. That is where our existence is proved. We are here because of water. Otherwise, no other planet is having any living creature. If you go to the civilization, the world's major civilization developed along with the rivers and river basins, which both united and divided the human beings. Without water, there would be no civilization. Indeed, there would not be any life at all. So that is where the civilization was standing. And over time, ancient civilization is learned to bring water to them instead of moving themselves to the water. That is what the best example is, the Roman civilization. When the civilization expanded, they relocated into the cities. They moved the water where they require the water. So the ancient Rome and Greece learned to move the water, their metropolis, through the power of gravity, through the aqueduct or the tunnels. This is the single innovation has changed the entire civilization forever. So this ability to move this water on a mass scale has been both blessing and also curse in modern civilization. So as much as we learn to move, and it become a blessing, but inefficient use become a cursing. On one hand, it has allowed cities to grow unimaginable size. And the other hand, these cities rely on the constant water source, and when interrupted, results in inevitability and chaos around the civilization, cities where we live. So this is what the second step, where this all our civilization which is started. When it comes to consider water as a dominant element, I have few facts onto this. So water is one of the dominant element of creation of our life. From the first moment of conception until the time of his or her birth, water is an integral part of of us as a human in our life. You know, that is where the water is a dominant element throughout our cradle to grave. So it has always been a focus of science, philosophy, mythology, and religion. So once again, it is proving it as a dominant factor. So all that the wars are happened on to the war, extending the boundaries of different nations are because of dispute of the war. So in this context, it reminds me about the Sanskrit sloka, how the water as a purifying thing, which is narrated in a sloka, which goes as we normally we used to have this sloka in the while taking the bath as Gangecha, Yamunechaya, Godavari Saraswati, Narmade Sindhu Kaveri, Jalasmin Sannidhi Kuru. It was very, very nicely interpreted the purity of the water, and we are taking blessings through water. This means in this water, I invoke the presence of all that divine water from the river Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri. All these rivers are considering goddesses, and I pray to them for considering me for the blessing. This is what we invoke the presence of the goddesses through the water. So hence it is proving our existence is only because of water with this importance. So we can say water is everything for us. Even if you consider water permeates the life on the earth. So hence the water is essentially enabler for the sustaining both life such as life for plants, animals, and human beings. If you look at the picture in front of you, which in totality it is conveying that about 75% of human body is water. So that is what the worth of water. So we can say water is everything for us. And the Thomas Fuller is a great historian. He narrated, we never know the worth of water until our well dries. So this is the worthiness of water. So if you consider the whole distribution of earth water, how much earth is having the water? As I said, it is about 70% of the surface of the earth is covered with the water. And in that 70%, about 97% is of ocean. Except navigation, it is really of no use for human consumption, day-to-day human consumption. And 3% is the fresh water, which is available on earth, out of which 77% of water is in the frozen states in our ice caps. And 22% of water is in the groundwater. How much of that 22% is left is really a big question mark for us. The water is also depleting day by day to a very greater extent, particularly in last 2 decades. There is a rapid depletion of groundwater has happened. So our usable and replenishable water is in the lake, in the form of lakes, rivers, and streams. It is only to the tune of 1%. So we are all using that 1% of water for our human living. And if you consider that 1%, where are we using the worldwide? If you take the total water utilization worldwide, we use the majority of water for irrigation. That is to the tune of about 70%. And residential is 10%. Residential here it is termed as purely for human and his habitation. And the rest of the industry, which is using about 20% of the water. You can say the rest of the industry, which includes the commercial use, hotel, hospital, the commercial buildings, mall, everything which consists of about 20%. So even if we are using only 10%, we are facing the utmost scarcity of water for many, many cities now. If you further divide this total water usage for residential purpose, how are we consuming the total available water to the residential, particularly for bathing and wash basin, to the tune of about 55 to 60% of water is being used. this is with, you can say, bathing with bucket water or shower or bathtub. This is on an average, on a national average, this is the amount of water which is being used. And on toilet flushing, it is about 30 to 35% of water is for toilet flushing. This is all volume in terms of liter per person per day. And cloth washing for per capita is to the tune of 20 to 23 liters. These are all urban water requirement. So please look at the figures very carefully, because saving is derived out of these numbers. I just want to emphasize that saving, we need to derive out of these numbers. Washing the house and all that cleaning activity, which is to the tune of about 10 to 12%. Utensils, about 10 to 15. Cooking is as small as 5 to 6%. And for drinking, really it is 3 to 4 liter on an average for a urban use per person per day is about 3 to 4 liter. So even National Building Code of India is a referral guide from the Government of India, and which also states the urban cities are using the water to the tune of about 135 to 155 liter. Even BWSSP is accounting water on per capita requirement or deficit or requirement. They are addressing in terms of 135 liter per capita, that is per person per day. So this is the total water requirement which is required for the day-to-day activity for a residential thing. So if you take in that about the potable water is only to the extent of about 4% is the total freshwater requirement which is required for our drinking and cooking. Rest all waters can be a tertiary treated or finely done, finely treated water requirement. If you, if I explain the total water requirement, for about 8 to 10 liters per capita per head for a potable water in terms of cooking and drinking is required. You see the pink segment, about 4%, which is accounting to as a fresh water. If you look at the potable water not required for the toilet flushing and gardening, that is shown in the blue-green segment on the right-hand side, it is accounting about 52%. So there is ample of opportunity if we treat the water which is suiting to use that water for the toilet flushing as well as lawn. We can avoid use of fresh water for these purposes. So this is where we need to make a greater effort as a Rotary activity, and along with the Indian Plumbing Association, we need to propagate this cause. You see another segment is there. Another segment which is shown in a yellow need to explore extensive treatment to save that 44% of water which is shown in the yellow. The potable water not required, but it is optional, provided if you treat that water to that extent, which can be used for laundry and dishwasher. Definitely this treatment may not be as high as treatment required for drinking and cooking. This is where I am making a point. So this is the little more polishing treatment required than water what we used for the toilet flushing as well as the gardening purpose. So bathing and cleaning, also it can be made use from the tertiary and finely treated water, using it for bathing. This also may not be to the standard as required to the standard of potable water. Today, we are not assuming the worth of water, because water is not costing as petrol. That is why we are little hesitant to use. When scarcity is there, it will become a father of invention. So if you look at the areas of consumption reduction, by changing only the habits, how can we change the habits and save the water? So these are the habit changing and reducing the consumption of water. The first, this you can say 9 points as a 9 commandments for us to reduce the consumption of water, exceptionally for urban utilization and urban life, urban city lifescapes, which really has to follow this 9 commandments. One is fixing the taps and toilet and appliances. Wherever leak is there, leaks can be fixed. Otherwise, it is. I'll show you next. Subsequent slide shows what is that one drop of water leaks to us. You know, so that you will appreciate how much we need to give a thought to fix the leaks before it is just leaking, even maybe one drop of water. Second is turn off the water when you are brushing teeth. It is as the survey says, not only in India, in the majority of the countries, even developed countries as well as developing countries, this is become a big nuisance. So it is turning off the water when you are brushing the teeth. So this is a simple act which may save more than 1,000 liters of water per month. This is what study says. So 1,000 liters is, you can say in terms of tanker, it is 1/5 of a tanker we waste every day to that extent of water if you are keeping the tap open while brushing. The third one is use maximum and full load cloth when using the washing machine. Washing machine, no doubt it is proved more than worth compared to the traditional hand washing to washing machine washing. It is saving a water, but still furthermore, you want to save the water, keep the washing machine in full load so that the per kg of water used is shows its worthiness of using less water. So second is use of dishwasher with full load. See, all my discussion is revolving around the urban utilization. Dishwasher, one point of time, it was a luxury. Now it is the order of the day. More so in the COVID situation, when you are not depending upon the house domestic help to do the things. Dishwasher is the best exercise, and the sales of dishwasher has gone up as per the statistics. And also dishwasher proved to be using 1/4 of water. Otherwise, the housemaid is using the water. And in that, still you want to achieve the water saving, use the dishwasher to the full load before switching on the dishwasher. And another is take the fifth, the commandment is take the shower instead of bathtub and take short showers. So here also the IPA has made a study on that, has reported if you take for a 5-minute shower or less than that, you will use about less than 25 to 35 liters of water per bath per person, compared to the bathtub use, which is proving about 260 liters of water per person per bath. So we need to discourage the bathtub. However, bathtub utilization has gone down. Most of the real estate development, they are not propagating even bathtub concept except a few villaments and villa requirement. However, but there is a lot of stress on even using the shower. You need to use short showers for the bathing. So there are studies which shows even the person who climbed, one can take shower in 2 liters of water with the different appliances to keep clean yourself. So sixth commandment is it is a one-time doing thing. Particularly, fill a bottle of water, put it in your the toilet flushing tank. It is a simple principle of Archimedes principle. If you put so much of water one time, the equivalent amount of water expels. If your cistern is having a capacity of about 6.3 liter, if we put 1 liter the water bottle, filled water bottle into that immerse, the 1 liter of water will be expelled out, and your flushing capacity of cistern reduces by 1 liter, and the net cistern capacity may be 5.3 liter. So multiplied by number of flushing per day, it is really a good saving. One can do it. It is really one time without incurring any cost. And seventh is the plant a native species of plant in your garden. If you have a small garden, that is what is applicable. Plant a local species. Local species are proved to be, it is adjusted to the environment. It becomes robust. It becomes very robust, and it may not consume too much of water. So there is a huge saving of water also, and we can supplement this the same thing with the drip irrigation. So these are the very, very small things with no investment, hardly any investment. One can propagate the use of reduction of water for all these things. And next one thing which we generally not doing, the eighth one is we need to make one energy audit system of your home. This all on an urban scenario, definitely one can do that. Whatever the appliances are there, how much the water consumption is happening, how much energy it is consuming. One time audit you need to do, so that are you using a efficient system of water, washing machine or dishwasher, or your water treatment plant, or your pumps, all will be known to you, because the water saving is also saving the energy otherwise which is used to pump that water. The next is the most important use of this one is use only water efficient faucets. If you are constructing a new house or you are renovating, please change all your appliances like faucets, equipment from the water guzzling, the old type of taps and faucets to new taps, which is a one-time investment. You can equate that investment with the payback period less than a year. So these are the 9 commandments one has to do, and to save the total water requirement. So I was talking about the drip drop calculation. What is drip drop? Your drop by drop, your tap is dripping. One has to know what is that you are incurring economical loss. Maybe water which you are paying, which is having a national interest. So we need to save that water. Even a drop of water, 1 drop of water which is falling from a tap, 1 drop per second, which is equivalent of about 21 liter loss of water per day. And per month it is about 630 liters of wastage of water. So annually, your water loss is about 7,000. It is 1.5 tanker of water, which single drop of water, which you are not corrected it in time, which may take about 50 rupees to correct. You are spending a water worth of about 2,000 rupees annually. This is 1 drop of water which cost. If you just equate the 2 drop per second of water, which may not be a straight line loss accumulation, it may be 43 liter, and annual it may cost about 15,700 liters. If you 2 drop per leakage of water, which costs you about 3 tankers of water annually, which is accounting to about 3,000 rupees in a peak summer. So this is the worth of water. So you just remember this drip drop calculation and save water. So I have calculated very, very optimistically, saying that the 1 drop is 1/4 of the ml. If the drop is as small as 1/4 of ml, this is the loss. If your drop is a bigger drop, the loss will be, it will be in multifold. So we need to say we need to say no to wastewater in your house. We need to pledge to say no to wastewater in your house. You know what is house? Yes. Yes, to save H2O, that is save water, use wastewater properly, that is recycled water properly. HOUSE is made up of H2OUSE, that is save water. So this is the word you should remind you always to save the water. So if you take the total water saving and use of efficient fixtures, as I highlighted earlier, so one has to use we technically in plumbing language, we say 3R principle, 3R approach, that is reduce, reuse, and recycle of water. So what are we saying through this? So reduce the use of available natural water resource, whether from municipal or from borewell. Reduce the consumption. So use efficient water fixtures. If your wash basin is using 5 liter per minute as a old tap, use the tap which is less using water, a efficient water fixture taps as low as 2 liter per minute. That is where you can reduce the consumption of water. Reuse is the second R technique. Make it possible. So many times it is not possible. Please make it possible to reuse, as every drop of water that we recycle is drop that we don't have to take from our limited water resources. So I need not to stress my water resources. So reuse that water. So that is where treat the water, reuse of that for the purpose where I have explained in the earlier slide. And the last R approach, that is recycle. It is very simplest level. Water recycling can means harvesting rainwater or and treat wastewater generated from the reuse to different purposes. So this is where our approach should be on 3R approach: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Right now, most of our people think of water recycling as an optional activity. Most of us, we generally think that is on an urban where every person is a busy, we think recycling is an optional activity. It is not my baby. People who don't care about the environment or what they want to save money on their water billing, they do it. So they don't care about the environment, they just want to save. But most of other people are quite content to ignore the issue. They're very contented. They just want to ignore. Recycling is not that baby. That's all likely to change in future. I said when the worth of our water become as high as petrol, we learn that things. So then we remember this 3R approach. See, the demand for water is directly connected to both the number of people in the world and the standard of living, and that of how they maintain. The world population is high and still climbing. So demand of water is also going very high. And the developing world is also getting richer, and the increasing desires of luxury product, which is keeping increasing. The amount of water get diverted to industry and inefficient form in the agricultural. So all that inefficient form of agricultural, inefficient use in industry has to be weighed in terms of this 3R approach. This means that we need to find other ways to conserve water. Recycling is not only our option, but it is one of the thing that everyone can do, help in reducing the consumption of water. So it is the recycling is in order to save money. And this approach we just need to keep in mind. So the one of the approach of the water conservation for home is to adopt water metering. Why water metering is required? As I said, the water metering and all that arrangement which gives us total leak detection and leak prevention mechanism. Leak is the major concern for our water, for the house owners. Water leakage on the customer's property, it shows the excess of the bill. In some cases, significant damage it creates before it is getting repaired. So that's where water metering is required, and leakage can be detected through that water metering, and prevention can be done. The second is the management of excessive water consumption. So smart water meters means that the household has to pay the bill what he is using. In apartments, in situations where the individual water meters are not there for a unit, so water becomes nobody's baby. So you are not measuring the water at your place, and you don't know how to manage the water. So water become the more consumptive item because it is not measured. You are not measuring the water. So third is it gives the total demand and management. So by doing water metering, you will come to know how much water I required on a daily basis, on seasonal basis, how to manage my water. So that gives all that the indicators, data to manage my own water, to fix my water demand. The few of the things which are shown now, it become a do-it-yourself kind of a kit. So one can install the total water meter arrangement with the proper valves, with the connector, which will send the total water consumption through Wi-Fi to your mobile. You can measure the water on real-time basis. So you will come to know what is that amount of water I'm doing. For example, water tap opened when water supply was not there, and you shut your house and going for vacation. By chance, the water supply is resumed. Till that time you come back, you will waste so much of water because it is not noticeable by you. You don't have water meter, or you don't have leak detection arrangement. So these are the few tips which are required, and water meter is considered as a necessity and order of the requirement for the day, and one has to install and measure the different water utilization within the sites. So next is, if you come to water conservation in home, use of aerators. You can see the small aerators which is shown in the picture. It saves water and reduces energy consumption also. Reduce splash of water, otherwise which is coming with a gush in the tap when you have the higher pressure. So the water sends a stream outside, and there is a lot of splash on the water. So the tap aerator is known for the water regulate. It acts as water regulator as well as water regulator as well. So aerator acts as the sieve and separating the single flow of water into multiple tiny streams, which introduces air and a water together, so that the water will not splash out of your sink or the wash basin, and you will get this complete same wholesome water effect. You will not reduce the efficiency of washing using this aerator, and it is a very nice installation. In fact, Indian Plumbing Association is propagating use of water aerator. It can be fitted into about 95% of any taps you can fit it, unless it is a very, very old model taps. So, so saving money by using water saving aerator is not a big mind game. You just need to replace that. Typically, for a wash basin, the saving through the aerator, having a flow of about 8 to 10 liter, we can bring it to 2.5 to 3 liter per minute. So there is a huge saving of water. So we can just see that one drop of water, how much was saving. If the saving of liters of water from one sink through by using the aerator, you will have a humongous saving of your water in your kitchen taps. And the aerators are of two types. Generally, we call as PCA, that is pressure compensating aerators, which are generally fitted for wash basin and the kitchen taps. Another is the pressure compensating aerator, that is PCW, and that is pressure compensating aerator, which are fitted generally into the shower and health faucet, where you may not require the very foamy effect, but still water has to mix with the air and give the same wholesome effect of using that water. You know, these are the things which we are really propagating, which one can immediately do, consider in their own project, own clubs, and propagate the use of the aerator. Aerator cost really very, very negligible. Probably it may be 2 cigarette cost if anybody is a smoker here. Yeah, so that is the cost one time which you are doing. So next is the simpler, just a changing thing, adopting a foot operated thing, foot operated the tap, which reduces the water consumption. If you have very diehard habit of keeping the tap open while brushing, this is where you can use these the foot operated mechanism valves or the taps, so that you can only foot when you want to foot on the valve when you want to use the water. Otherwise, the water will not go profusely into the sink and goes as a wastewater. So these foot operated taps helps to maintain hygiene and also avoid contamination amid this COVID situations. So it is also a retrofit arrangement one can consider for reducing the consumption of water. So second is, as I highlighted earlier, the use of the high efficiency showers. Generally, our the olden days showers are water guzzling, is as high as about 15 liter per minute of water. If you take bath for 10 minutes, it is 150 liter of water you will consume for one shower bath. So now the order has come. We need to use very high efficiency shower, and earlier olden showers which are not mixing the air with the passage of water, and it was giving a beam of water, and lot of wastage of water used to happen. Now the high efficiency water with aerator, the water usage is coming as low as 5 or 5.7 liters per minute. Once again, the water use for 10-minute bath, it is reducing to 50 liters of water. If you take a 10 minutes bath, we need to propagate for a short bath of 5 minutes, which may reduce still the water requirement from 50 liter per bath to 25 liter. Then you will see this saving. Only we can do it with the help of high efficiency shower heads. So these are the smaller things one has to consider using make the smaller adjustment and changing the faucets and fittings to save the water. The last of this is the use of high efficiency the toilet. So already we are using a lot of the shower system, that is gravity flow flush shower, gravity flush systems for the flushing of WC, which are using dual flush for a a small use of toilet, and the high flush for the dual flush, high flush for the longer the waste flushing into the WCs. So that is the dual flush one has to consider. The flushometer valve is the valve. It is like we can call as a flush valve. This is also adjustable flush valve, which uses low flush and high flush and saves the anonymous water. The next is, if this water scarcity still continues, we may have to change our the toilet flushing system to pressure flushing toilets. It is as similar as the toilet flush used in aircraft, which may reduce the total water requirement even to the tune of about 3 liters for entire flush, but it is assisted with air. So these are, today it may be looking very, very hard to swallow. We may going to use the pressure assisted toilets for day-to-day use. The day may come if you are not saving the water. So somebody was asking, what is that out of the box thinking in the saving of water? One has to reconsider our thinking. See, anyway, we need to wash our hands after using the WCs or any short washes. Now, because of this COVID pandemic, the washing is increased like anything. Hand washing is given utmost priority with soap water. So that water, instead of sending it down the drain, one can store in a tank with appropriate trap where the smell is not coming back to the sink, and the same water is can be flushed back into the WCs. So there are many manufacturers which are already started manufacturing in India as well. So these consideration, out of the box thinking, we need to make use in saving the water. So in a that was on the wash basin, out of the box thinking. The waterless urinals, maybe the order of the day, because this may not be a residential scenario. It may be the mall, multiplex, offices, where the frequent flushing is happening through the urinals. If we use waterless urinals, the saving of water is to the tune of about 70 to 75,000 liters of water per urinal. This is the amount of water we're going to save. This is, see, you always imagine trying to see the things in terms of the how much tankers of water you use. It may be as high as 15 tankers of water, which you are spending on one urinal in an office scenario. One has to reconsider the use of waterless urinals. So these are the few things which we may have to consider as saving of water. So after all, now all that we spend the water, waste is generated, waste is collected. Now it is the time to treat the wastewater through the sewage treatment plants. And for a common man, what exactly is this sewage treatment plant? What is its objective? See, the very principal objective of the sewage treatment is generally to allow human and industrial waste, or whatever the waste which is generated, keep away from human habitation and treat that water, make it innocuous for reusing back into the environment. Imagine if you are throwing all our untreated sewage living into the lakes or water bodies. This is what happens in Bellandur Lake. Okay, so it become the waste entering such a water body, the water body will lose its carrying capacity. Eutrophication of lakes takes place. The growth of algae happens. Growth of the green unwanted weeds grows there, and carrying capacity reduces. The stinking, the whatnot. There are many things can happen if you are throwing the untreated waste into the environment. So now the order is, why we require treatment plant? It is to commit and preserve the global environment. That is where we need to use treatment plant, treat the water, either use or you want to throw it outside as per the permission taken from the Pollution Control Board time to time into the lakes or water bodies. And The treatment plant is also assisting us, helping us in conserving the water, recycling, reusing back into the system. As I have shown in the earlier slide, we have the potential of using, treating about 80% of water back into our human consumption. We need not to rely on fresh water. And as a good policy, we need to treat the water through the treatment plant. So generally, the treatment plant is having about 4 stages. The primary treatment, where you are removing only the floating debris, the matters which are not biodegradable in nature, screen that through the coarse screen, fine screen, and take it out. The secondary treatment is mixing with the air and degrade that matter, organic matter in the sewage, and bacterial growth happens, and bacteria eat away the biomass and keep that sludge separate and water separate for the tertiary treatment. Tertiary treatment is a third stage where you are screening all that the sludge, the colloidal particle, you reduce hello. Yeah, we reduce all that the dissolved and impurities, make that water usable at this stage for flushing, irrigation, your the car wash, basement cleaning, many other purpose which are not touched by, generally may not be touched by human, because once again the feel of using treated water, there is a social stigma attached to that. One is not liking to touch that water. So we can use it for the purpose where you are not touching the water directly. So then the third treatment, definitely whatever you do, you need to make it water little, disinfect the water, remove the pathogens from there, make that water which is suitable as per the Pollution Control Board standard before putting it to use. And now the sewage treatment itself is a very, very big subject. Just to summarize, just to give an idea, what are the kind of treatment which are available, which one can see in your apartments or in your locality, in your complexes, is at least one among these kind of treatment. Most of these treatments are happen like this, that is activated sludge process, or the sequential batch reactors, or rotating bio reactor, fluidized bed reactor, and membrane bioreactor. These are the different aerobic treatment. Either of the treatments are used when you are treating the sewage. So there are many things which are asked. Before that, this is the look and feel of a treatment plant generally installed for a larger housing communities, where you have different sections: incoming sewage, the aeration zones, the tertiary cleaning zone, sludge removal zone, and is all well ventilated. The complete sewage treatment, making the odorless and to take care of the personnel who are handling all this sewage system. When you come to the package sewage treatment, these are the package sewage treatment are recommended. Also, you can use it as a retrofit or on a place where you don't have space. You can use the very compact treatment plants. In a medium size treatment, you can from 10 KL to 160 KL, you can use the sewage treatment plant, which is available in package form, which is just like a plug and play things, which can be made use in a very small apartment complex, or small office building, or a small school, or the hospital arrangement, which can go up to about from 10 kiloliter, that is 10,000 liters, to 1,60,000 liters. One can utilize, and it is like a packet treatment plant. It comes on it's a very, very truck mounted system, factory fitted and delivered at site. So somebody is asking, what can we do for a small villas or a single house where you don't have municipal connection? You don't have municipal connection either for water or for treating the wastewater, or for a village house and a remote hamlets. One can go for a very, very smaller treatment systems from about 1,000 liter to 5,000 liter. That is 1 KL to 5,000, 1 KL to 5 KL treatment plant. So you can treat the water, reuse that water, reuse and replace that water with your fresh water, otherwise which is required for your day-to-day consumption. Then the question comes, where is at what point we need to stop our treatment? So the sewage treatment standards are very well defined by individual state pollution control board, and it is also derived by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, and under which they are defining up to what level the pollution control polluting parameter should be. For example, any sewage is defined in terms of the biological oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand, the solid substances, the solid suspended solids present in the sewage or treated water, or the amount of nitrogen and phosphorus which is available. See, why this algal bloom happens when you are leaving the sewage treated water into the lake? Because these are the nutrients for the growth of any plants, nitrogen and phosphorus. We can say NPK, what we call in our fertilizer term. So this is what is available in sewage, which also comes into the wastewater, treated wastewater, but we need to limit that the nutrients before using it for that for the different purposes. This is what the sewage treatment plant does for you. So these are the standards which are time to time defined by the government. We need to adhere to this. So with this, so I can conclude my discussion on the efficient use of water. You just remember 3R technique, just remember to change our habit, just remember the ancient system to now, and water is a biggest source which is really finite. It is not an infinite element. And thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you. Over to Prasad. Prasad.
Thank you, Prasanna. Very good presentation on the water saving concepts. And yes, if time permits, we can take the sewage treatment plant in a separate day because it's quite exhaustive. So reuse of water through the treatment plants. Any questions?
Yeah, Prasad.
Yeah.
Again, Prasad. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think the whole presentation was very simple and which anybody could understand. And thanks to Prasanna, our chairman. It was very nice, sir. Thank you for your time and presentation on behalf of Rotary District 3190 and all the guests, Rotarians here. Sir, what I was thinking is this aerators and small things like this. And also you were talking about that reusable water, the grey water treatment for the houses, villas, and all that smaller version. I think if that we could promote in our joint thing, I think that will be an excellent thing, wherein for the houses they could use it, and a lot of water saving could be done. That is what I think. That is one of the important thing what we need to promote between us, so that in the awareness campaign, what we thought about it. I think this will be really a nice one. That is what I felt on that.
Thank you, sir. Yes, there are many such things which are made available in the market now. One can really think of what technology all those are based on, and we need to weigh against the quality of treated water which it gives and consumption of electricity. It should not so happen it consumes more electricity to save small amount of water. So as I always comparing this, we say only there is a word says cancer only cures the smoking.
Right.
So the cost of water, if it increases, then we'll feel the worthiness of the water.
Correct.
So we need to weigh against any element which is we are consuming from the nature. We need to carefully choose those mechanisms and to retreat the water, whether it is electricity or water or space or the treatment plant which produces some amount of waste. What is that end use which is consisting of? One can carefully choose the equipment for a smaller equipment to larger equipment, sir.
Yeah, good, sir.
Yeah.
Prasad, our PDG from 3232, he is also here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and our charter president is also here.
Yeah, PDG Subbu, go ahead and ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prasanna Kumar. It was a wonderful presentation. I compliment you on that. I have a very brief and sharp question. I have a pressure pump installed, which feeds my pipes in the wash basin, in the bathroom, as well as my shower. Am I making a mistake by using a pressure pump and having high pressure water for my shower or not? This is a debate raging in my house.
It's really a good question. I was not having a space to connect this one because I was talking on water saving systems. But the question is really valid and relevant. The pressure is directly proportional to the discharge of your water as well. So where I am propagating pressure compensating, not the discharge compensating the aerator in my presentation. Where you correctly said, if the pressure is more than 1.5 kg, which is really not a necessity for taking bath. Anything more than that, it is a wastage of water. So what you can do is either, I don't know how the arrangement is, you want to install because it is a system which is available. Now you need to retrofit to reduce the pressure. You can use the pressure reducing valves to reduce the pressure, so that the installation of our capital investment on pressure reducing valve and saving of water is 1 month. You will get back your money. That much amount of water which we may going to use if you are using the pressure boosting system for many appliances, which may not be required, in my opinion, if it is more than 1.5 kg per centimeter square.
This thing operates on the hydrostatic principle, where when I open the valve, the pressure pump starts. I close the valve, the pressure pump closes. I have tested it. In fact, it's being a chemical engineer, you always do that. I decided to check how many buckets of water I would use or how much of water I would use. I literally stood in a bucket and checked how much of water I would use in a normal shower, and then what happens in a pressure shower.
Yes, sir.
Shower, you very quickly finish your bath. You feel so clean, so you don't use that much of water. But then I take your point in terms of optimum pressure that is required. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Generally, what happens? What day of the season you are taking a bath? Whether it is a chilled, you want to take hot shower, then you may consume a little more water. Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. You stay under the shower for long.
People under very heavy shower, the buffalo underwater, it is my example, we never come out quickly.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uday Kumar Bhaskar, can you ask a question, please?
Sir, wonderful talk, very informative, very clear, very simple. Thank you very much. Sir, my first question is, all of us are eager to save water, but we are dictated by the ladies and the maids in the house. They care a damn in spite of our repeated requests or even suggestions. Now you need to create that when we open the tap, last time myself and Prasad were discussing about a valve which is going to regulate the water. Now, when I was looking at so many different type of taps are there in my single house itself. So would you be coming out with a common fixture which can be fitted properly, which should last long, which can be fitted into any tap? That is the first challenge I would like to ask you, sir.
Yeah. So generally what happens, sir, yeah, the aerator which I'm trying to highlight in my presentation, which about 95% of the taps will take that aerator. If the tap is very old, it is a time to replace, because your replacement and payback period is really negligible when you want to save the water. So that is the very interesting aspect. You may have to change this one. There is no fixed tap which is giving this. You can bring in a tap which you can accommodate aerator. It may not be very hi-fi branded. If you take branded, doesn't matter. If it is not branded also, if it can take care of fixing of aerator, it is more than sufficient. You can save the water and payback is very quicker. That is one. The insistence of the domestic help, what you said, it is common everywhere. In my house also, when before the aerator, what my wife does, she removed that aerator, put a few pebbles into that and fixed it back. So pebbles also doing the same aerator job, but in a very, very cruder manner, but it is not very scientific, but still it does its job to reduce the water. The next day she changed it. The housemaid has changed it, made it regular time. So better is you can't change the habit. What we need to slowly educate them. On a single day you can't do that. See, when in an apartment, except where you are near to the source, you may not have the pressure in your apartment more. When you are away from the source, your head of water, potential head of water is more on the tap, and after inserting the aerator also, the wholesome effect is quantum of water in pressure where it is more than sufficient to clean, and nobody can even notice that. It even gives the foamy water which spreads, the surface area of spread become more larger than water beam hitting onto the plate or a cup or a utensils. So one can do that. It is all matter of how much pressure in the tap and how to use this.
Sir, question number 2. With your association itself talking to the tap manufacturers now itself, so that they manufacture the tap which comes along with this. So everybody has got no other choice except to use this. This is what my take is, sir.
Yeah, it is already, those taps are available in the market. These manufacturing has started as old as 5 years now, and all kind of taps are available to medium to high end. They are using this. Still, you want to more optimize, there are aerators which are available. These are all the very standard size, the tap ends, which can any aerator will go into the tap of very standard modern taps.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, Om Plast. I couldn't get his name. Om Plast, can you ask a question, please?
Yeah, this is Suresh Sagar.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah,
sir,
go ahead,
Mr. Sagar. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, we have, sir, Prasanna sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Thank you for the nice presentation. Thank you so much. So this is, you are talking about this taps, I mean, like saving of water. In this COVID situation, we have brought out one mobile hand-free wash station, wherein it can be placed in the school or a factory, wherein you can liquidate the crowd, means thin the crowd. You can divide the crowd. Say example, in a school, 100 children cannot use one toilet at a time. They have to maintain that SOP, standard operating procedure. In that case, they have to keep that 1 meter distance and all that. So some pupil, I mean, the students want to use, I mean, just to have wash and then go for lunch, breakfast, whatever. Others may have to use that, that's all. So in such cases, this wash station can be kept anywhere. And the children, those who want to only have a wash and then go for the food, they can use this. This is called OMP hand-free mobile wash station. This is 40 liters. It is kept inside that particular box type we have made. like in the flight, what you see that attendant, that pulling cart, like
That's
that
right.
we have made it in a stainless steel, wherein we can keep this liquid soap in one side, liquid soap container is kept one side, and other side the dryer. If they want, they can use the dryer also, it is optional. And then tissue paper rods, that the rolling. And this particular wash station is definitely helpful to the factory, schools, and big offices, where they can avoid this crowd, one-time crowd in the toilet.
Right,
That's what
sir.
we have brought
I
out.
understood. What is your question, sir?
Yeah, sir, my question is that
Yes,
this particular, water saving
yes, sir.
in shower, especially.
Yes, sir.
So, can we get any kind of, can you make a device thing like in the existing shower?
Yeah, there is the pressure compensating and the aerators which are available, which can be installed inside the shower and reduce the flow of water without reducing the pressure. These systems are available. So one can need to check your shower is it compatible. See, how much is the shower head cost? If the shower head is costing about 300 rupees, is it not worth, if I'm very environmental conscious fellow, is it not worth to change my shower head, which is as equivalent of 4 liters of petrol? Otherwise, I'm wasting somewhere. Change the shower head. Water bill also comes down. I'm addressing both capital investment as well as recurring costs. Recurring costs, you can enjoy fruits. The capital investment, you reduce from your petrol. Don't go to market, you walk one day and save the petrol, invest on the shower head.
Prasanna, also we have these aerators which can be, the shower head can be removed, and with the help of the nipple, you can put it across the shower.
Shower, yes, absolutely.
The existing shower can be used if you want to use the existing shower.
No, that removal mechanism, they should know that all depends upon how to remove the shower head portion and the tile portion inside that the aerator. That's all one has to check. It is all do it yourself kind of a thing which is available. I am propagating only do it kind of yourself. Let us not depend upon plumber like me, do it yourself. I can tell you what to do, but do it yourself. Then you will enjoy that, the saving, because you are doing it for yourself.
Yeah. Mr. Suresh Kumar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Prasanna Kumar, it was a nice presentation, very nice information.
Thank you, sir.
I was just wondering about these lakes. I always hear the lake, they leave all the dirty storage water and the lake gets contaminated. Correct?
Yes.
So I was thinking that you were talking about the packaged STP apparatus. So can't be one like package can be installed in one of these lakes and only the good water comes to the lake?
Yes, sir. It's a good, yes, sir, good question.
Can we install a STP near the lake itself?
Sir, I'll just break up into 2-3 portions of your question, and I will answer one by one. So one is installation, generation of wastewater. Where this wastewater is getting generated, we need to identify that source. I can't penalize you because I am generating wastewater. It answers part of your question. Who is generating? He has to install the sewage treatment unit. All that fresh constructions which are mandatorily have to have sewage treatment plant for their operation, reuse within the residential complex or any establishment per se. So he has to take care of himself. First, they have to identify the space. Many of the resident association is unwilling to spend that money to get the sewage treatment purchased and installed in their premises. This is the little pathetic part. So once again, you need to remember, water is a cheap element as on date. That's why they are doing that. If it is become as costly as petrol, I always compare this one. As costly as petrol, the purchase of STP become very cheaper. Okay. Second, you can't stitch a pant for elephant. Okay. Elephants walk like that only. In the sense, I can't have a sewage treatment unit of that size. Other side, I am polluting entire water and I am leaving it to the nature and expecting nature to take care of that. Before that, I want to install the sewage treatment unit. But what happens if you are treating any sewage or wastewater at source? It becomes much cheaper than treating the water at the tail end just before entering the lake. This is just because the waste becomes so complex. It is having a waste from hospital. It will have a waste from hotel, the residential, industrial. I don't have one single mechanism or treatment system to treat entire water. So treat the waste where it is generated instead of treat the waste where it is started polluting. This is my take on all this lake. However, government is trying its best to do. One is the laying all that sewerage system, keeping the solid waste collected properly. All citizen has to join hand with them. Otherwise, it is a mammoth task which government has to spend lakhs of crores to complete this in one fixed point of time. So it is the meaning, use that water for different purposes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Prasanna. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Abhay Kanjikar. Abhay? You there?
Thanks, Prasad. Thank you very much. Prasanna, I think from the presentation,
yes, sir,
the first thing we need to do is save water. You said even the leaking taps waste a lot of water into hundreds and thousands of water in a month or so. Correct. So this requires
your voice is
the recommendations to actually once in a
your voice is breaking, Abhay.
Your voice is
all the flats.
Your voice is breaking. Unable to hear your.
Can you hear me now?
Now it's okay.
Now it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the first thing that you talked was the leaking tap, how they waste water, and other things through which needs mass scale education.
I think you need to write and send it. Unable to hear you, sir. What I can make out
in the city and probably we have to think of working with.
Abhay, we are not able to hear. Can you type it in the chat?
Can you type it in chat box? I can able to answer you. Unable to hear you.
Yeah, who else? Somebody else was there.
Now, probably if I'm understanding this small bit of question, what he is saying, Mr. Abhay Kanjikar is saying is, one, probably on leaking tax, yes, we need to attack that immediately. Because the leaking tax repair is 1/10 of your water tanker cost. So that you address. Maybe problem due to washer, problem due to something that can be corrected very immediately on a war footing. That one has to see. Second, probably his question was the aerator arrangement and education part of it. And IPA is the Rotary's arm now for you to educate in your club. And we can give you all that leaflet. We can propagate, you can propagate the same aspect in your club meetings. Educate them first. Because knowing is first acquire the knowledge, then assimilate that into the site condition. Probably these were the two questions.
Yeah, but I'm also saying that we also Yeah, we have Association of Apartments Association.
Yes.
And I have been working with them on other projects. Probably Rotary and IPA can think of how we can target or major we can say is the apartments. Correct. Individual homes, it might be a little bit difficult to reach them immediately, but apartments we can reach easily through these associations. And probably through the associations, apartment associations, we can reach the residents in apartments. So if IPA and Rotary team puts in place a path, and today social media is working in a very big manner, and I am chairman for social media for Rotary District 3190. We'd like to take it up on a very, very large scale and reach lots of people through social media. So how to reach them, we will take care. But if you put a path and if you put some material in place, we will take it forward from there.
Definitely, we'll do in due course of time. What we'll do is we'll segregate the different user and we'll start propagating. We'll make different forms. In the sense, for a apartment, you want to see the water metering done. What one can do is take some questionnaires. How many apartments are there? How many 3 BHK? How many 2 BHK? How many single BHK? How many taps? What kind of taps? Something we can do that. Maybe it is, if you analyze for 10 apartment, it may be ditto if it is constructed one point of time. So those forms will circulate to your clubs and get the data collected. Then we'll tailor-made this one, the solution for individual apartments.
Yeah.
Jagmohan asked a question.
Yeah, Jagmohan.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, Prasanna. Very informative presentation, especially the pie chart where you have shown 4%, 52%, and the 44% of how the utilization and how we should tackle those areas. It has been very well explained, and really appreciate. I mean, I've been in the industry for almost 30 odd years, 3 decades. So I have 2 questions. One, probably I will ask you more from an industry perspective. I mean, you can give me a short answer, but it may not be too relevant for everybody. And the second is for the domestic. So let me ask from the domestic perspective. Most of us have the solar heater system, and we have tendency that the first almost a bucket of water, if you have 3-4 bathrooms, a bucket of water from each bathroom is let out and wasted, which is not even mixed with the hot water system. Is there kind of a design which probably can circumvent this to make sure that this water is not wasted? Because generally you will have a bucket and then you will throw it down.
Yeah.
This is question 1.
Yeah.
Anything from the design
shall I
perspective,
answer this?
or from a pipe recirculation perspective, something like that?
Yes. That's where. Shall I answer this?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. This is a valid question, which is invariably happening in majority of houses, you can say. Majority, the first bucket of water or half a bucket of water, depending upon where the solar is situated, the hot water tank is situated, the small amount of water which is staying in the pipeline, which is going as a waste only. See, in a retrofitting, it become a little cumbersome work. In a fresh work, one can do that. You can always consider a recirculation pipeline within that up to the faucet end, circulate it back just before taking the bath, so that as soon as you open, the hot water will come. In a situation where you can't do piping, because probably all your piping is concealed within the wall now. You have no scope to do this. Still, there is little amount of water wasted. One is on use it for, we have many purpose in house to do. Use that water at least for keeping near the wash basin, because instead of why I can't do this. Else, what one can do is you need to have force that break open, have a recirculation pipeline and circulate the water. Else you collect the water, use it for some purpose in a house. There are purposes. You can use the vegetable wash. you can use it in your garden. You can keep that bucket near the wash basin. Some way one can do. Otherwise, all that know-how is there for a fresh work, not on retrospect side. It is a little difficult because it calls for investment. But willing, one can do it.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Actually, you know, a retrofit is always a problem. You spend more money on a retrofit than a greenfield. It's always the case.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, good. So I will get to the industrial aspect of this question. I come from a background of setting up biopharma industries, wherein for manufacturing few liters of the product, you have tons of water which goes in to get the right quality of water, to get probably the soft water which you will use it for injectables. Of course, there are a lot of solutions of how to contain those water, but still you will end up with very high quantities of high TDS water, for which actually, PCB will not allow it to be thrown onto the ground, obviously, because it will, make the soil impervious, and you cannot collect it. So you will essentially go into a kind of evaporation cycle, which is a very expensive solution.
Yes.
Any thoughts on it? I mean, it's not that I just want a solution, because I know, it has been in the industry for so many years, and people still try to find a solution by dumping the water elsewhere or go and mix it with the lake. But that's not a real solution.
Yeah, the evaporation is one of the biggest, that is the nearest solution available, but it consumes, as you said, it consumes enormous energy. Or it is a sun drying, where you need to have the answer in the wet seasons. So it is really a catch-22 situation when to handle the high TDS waters. It's very, very difficult, this one. That's why probably that name has come as TDS only. It is very tedious to handle the TDS water. TDS.
Shashikant asked a question.
Yeah, Shashi Pobati. Shashi Pobati. Are you there?
Mute and ask the question.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Shashi.
Hi, Prasanna. Hi, Prasad. Good evening, Prasanna.
Nice.
How are you?
Nice. Good, Mr. Shashi. How are you?
Fine, sir. First of all, my hearty congratulations on behalf of all Rotary people for Indian Plumbing Association for signing an MOU for water conservation with Rotary. And that was a very welcome move. Good show by Prasad also on that. We welcome you for that. Thank you. Second thing is, we are talking about creating more awareness about water conservation. And in this connection, sir, we would like to invite you to our Resident Welfare Association also. Several RWSAs are there, where, we can connect together, and it was a very informative, very clear talk what you gave. It should reach all the people. And third point is, sir, as far as the apartment is concerned, most of the apartments are registered under CREDAI and also BBMP. We can definitely contact CREDAI and BBMP, and maybe we can request you to address that platform also, sir. So this has been my observation. Otherwise, I have been listening very rapidly. You have given very simple but very effective solution, so that everybody can use this technology, whatever you have said. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely we can address that. I'm working very closely with Mr. BK Prasad.
Yes, sir.
There are many things to unfold now on in terms of the materials which are highlighting the water saving aspects, the forms to be generated now to collect the data information, to suggest right way of thing. As just now Mr. Abhay said, it is just we are sitting on a very little tip of the iceberg now. We don't know the depth in which we need to deep dive into this, and we are there. As Prasad is always very enthusiastic in bringing all that information, collecting together, and propagating. We'll do a lot of projects. This also awareness program also we can keep. We will set out how to roll this awareness program.
Good, sir. Good, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, PDG Ranjan Digra, sir. Would you like to speak on the?
Very good evening to each one of you. Sorry, I am very late. I joined because of some other Zoom meeting going on.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Let me just thank Mr. Prasanna Kumar for signing the MOU with the Bangalore unit of Rotary International. Yes. In fact, it was our endeavor that Rotary India Water Mission gets in touch with you on a bigger scale. Due to certain reasons, we had to delay the whole process. Maybe very soon we'll come up with this on an all-India and pan-India basis. That will be there, which we are looking forward to with great interest. In fact, BK Prasad is one of those gentlemen, I would say, we always week after week look after him and look towards him, that he brings a new expert on different issues. And today, when I heard that he's going to bring you on this screen for this matter, the Zoom meeting, I was very much interested in listening to you. Unfortunately, I missed the entire, game plan as such. So maybe BK can send me the recording at the earliest, which I find, whatever the comments I'm hearing just now, the people are very much happy with your presentation and very pragmatic type of thing what you have given to each one of us today. Thank you for that. I will look forward to working with you on a grand scale on pan-India basis.
Definitely, sir. IPA is always your technical hand to you, sir, for our common cause of saving water. We are always there for all the clubs of your Rotary, and we'll take your endeavor of the water saving and that the definition of water, you redefined it through your water mission, and hats off to you. We'll work closely with your clubs.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, good evening, Ranjan sir. Thank you for coming. Nagendra.
Very, very good evening, Nagendra. How are you?
Fine. How are you? Good. At least whenever Prasad,
I've joined you all maybe at the back end of your meeting, but nevertheless, I'm with you.
Yeah, thank you. So we should keep thanking Prasad because he is connecting all of us again and
absolutely. No doubt about it.
Thank you.
He's a real waterman, I call him,
Yeah, right.
Yeah. We have a question from PDG.
From our profession of environmentalists and architects. Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Jaisim, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. It was a great pleasure.
Oh, Jaisim is it?
It was a great pleasure listening to you, the entire detail. Anything from the environmentalists and architects, please do not hesitate. I'll be with you.
Sure, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Nagendra Prasad has to look into it. So we have, sir, on environment.
Jaisim, sir, this is Nagendra Prasad. I'm the governor for 3190. And Jaisim, this is, I met you long back. I'm C.V.L. Shastri's son.
Okay, because Rotary Cubbon Park is going to celebrate its 25th year as founder president. Please convey all my respects to you. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jaisim. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, we have one more water expert. Rajendra Kalbavi would like to come in. Rotarian Rajendra Kalbavi. Dev, can you unmute him? Rajendra Kalbavi. Yeah.
He has to unmute.
Yeah. Rotarian Rajendra Kalbavi, can you come in, sir? The Water Crusaders from Mangalore. Oh.
He has to unmute himself.
He has to unmute. Okay. Continue.
In the meantime, PDG Manmohan has a question.
Please, please.
Yes. Are you listening?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
audible? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I have a very little question that you have mentioned in the talk regarding this pilot by working with gravity, as we see in the aircraft. So is this system easily available? And if available, what are the sources and what is the approximate cost per seat?
The pressure assisted, the toilet flushes are available. It is not generally in use now, but we can find out the cost, and I can give you all the detail through Mr. B.K. Prasad, sir. Because it's not very generally used. The area in which, if it is below the grade line of manhole or somewhere where your the WC is constructed in basement, like that, where manholes are on the ground level, these are generally in use.
Vacuum operated.
These are otherwise workable.
I need to find out the cast. Yes, yes.
They are workable.
Yes.
But in the houses, it is workable.
Yes, yes, definitely it is workable, sir. It is working in the aircraft. It is workable in land also. Yeah.
Okay, I will be grateful if you send me the details.
Yes, yes. Give me a couple of days. I'll just find out the right person to you.
Okay, right. Thank you. Thank you. Very interesting talk.
We heard much about you on the saving of water and a water crusader from B.K. Prasad, sir. Thank you. Nice knowing you, sir.
Thank you.
Usha Selvaraj has got a question.
Yeah. Anybody?
Usha? Usha, can you unmute yourself and ask question? Yeah.
Yeah, Usha?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, ask a question.
Yes, I would like to. In fact, I had just typed it. It wasn't a question, but a concern that normally I see is among the educated people. What I said is normally I land up picking up fight with the drivers who are washing their car with the pipe, and they almost give a shower to the car. And which is like many of the houses, it is happening on a daily basis also. And this is not in kind of a place where there is a water scarcity, but every house in a posh areas where they get, and it is happening just exactly out of somebody who is very well educated, out of their house in their gate. But they don't seem to know it as a concern. And how do you educate the people that water is so precious, you cannot be washing your car in that water? And somebody told me that there is a penalty clause, if you see somebody washing a car, they can be penalized and fined and all. But is that really true? Has the government actually woken up in solving such issues? And wedding halls are another biggest concern, where big bottles are kept nowadays, and people just leave it behind and go. So can that bottles become smaller size? People can learn to carry it along with them. Because when I have meeting and I give a small bottle and I also tell them that's your own bottle, please carry it. People feel shy to carry that bottle also, So more awareness of how precious is the drinking water. And if we don't have water to drink, what could be our way of life of living? How can we make that more serious for the people more than learning to save water?
Yeah, we're really a very, very touchy subject, as well as for me also, and real concern you are highlighted, madam. In this, generally what happens, our education, if you start the education in this generation, end up in correcting in the next generation. That is what is being generally what we learned. That is where Indian Plumbing Association, what we have done, we stopped giving water bottle. Otherwise, we were also richly giving water bottle in all our meeting and keeping that water bottle. We also noticed the half-used water bottle. People are feeling it is below their dignity to carry that water. You know, that was the thing which used to happen. See, another thing what we have done, the March 11th every year is the World Plumbing Day. We are also part of water plumbing. Water is our cause where we are doing our service to the nation. And what we are doing is we started educating from the schools. Schools are the best medium to educate their parents. You can't educate parents. You can educate rather children. Children will educate their parents. Educate children in such a way they should educate their parents. A parent's mind is already grown up mind. It can't take more education at all. This is where I am foreseeing the thing. And whenever we done such program in a school and we got a feedback, my children really saying, stop the tap while brushing. My children, they are saying, don't use the hose for washing cars. This is what we keep hearing. It takes its own time. It starts from youngers to teach elders. That is the situation where we are in, madam.
Thank you. Thanks for that statement.
BKG, can I add two more things?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, for car washing in Pune, there is waterless car washing practices. There's special type of towels or napkins are there, which can remove the dust very easily, and that it kits costing 300 to 600 rupees, and it lasts for 2 months. Means it hardly takes 5 to 6 rupees per day cleaning the car wash, and it is good substitute for water saving car washing. And second,
it's becoming a branding product. See, what we know is that there are many things available as an option for many things. But are these in a branded format which is creating ads for people to be aware? Now, for an example, is the driver's owner, the car owner itself, is he aware that there is a product like this? And he educates his driver that he should not wash the car in the open pipe water. Rather, he should use
Running
such
water.
things. You know, the awareness is what I'm trying to talk about. There could be any number of product. The concern is coming about awareness that the water is precious and that is not meant for washing car. You know, that kind of when the talk is coming in the Rotary kind of a topic, how big can Rotary think to do even advertisements or videos which can go across in the news channels, or it could go in Doordarshans? You know, those are the things that we need to think about.
yes, madam, I am answering the same. We are creating, Rotary India Water Mission is creating every day a slide that in various ways how water is wasted, what are the impacts, and very soon we are delivering the slides for the how Rotary is applying the various appliances for water saving. And here myself is sharing that slides every day to 3,500 people, those number in my phone. Like that, if every Rotarian is saying 10 slides, 10 people, it will reach lakhs of people or crore of people. It is, and the Rotary India Mission already has started using social media for the same. I will request all the people present here, the same slides if you share, it will create the PI of Rotary and no doubt the water awareness. I will expect a comment of BK Prasad ji and Ranjan Dhingra ji on the same.
Yeah, sure. See, thank you, Satish. We are receiving it regularly. Yeah, we should be sending it to the district so that district also sends across, or we can post it in the Facebook. Yeah, we can take it up further. It's a good suggestion, Satish. Yeah. Yeah, I think already, in fact, Rajendra Kalbavi has done a lot of YouTube videos. I don't know if he can come online and talks on this issue. Rajendra Kalbavi.
He's not responding.
रंजन जी आपका आप अनम्यूट कीजिए.
He's not responding.
Rajendra is not responding. Achha. I'll just call him. We'll see. He has done lots of videos and he has posted it on our water warriors and water activity.
Very excellent videos they are.
Yeah.
Even Raghunathan or some that name, he's also writing every day. Yeah, very nicely. He's putting the facts of water about water.
No, I don't know. Anyhow.
Right, Prasad, anything else?
Yeah, anything else? Krishnamurthy, BK, yeah. Kindly, sir. BK Krishnamurthy.
You can unmute.
Yeah, Dev, have you unmuted him?
Yeah, he has to unmute and speak.
Yeah, Krishnamurthy, unmute yourself, please. Krishnamurthy, please come in. BK. Krishnamurthy, you have to unmute yourself, please. Okay. Fine.
He is unmuted. Unmuted.
Okay. Krishnamurthy, please ask a question. No, he's not there. Yeah, I think
he's unmuted.
But he's
not speaking.
He raised his hands. Fine. Anybody else? If there is any more questions? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Prasad. Nagendra Prasad is there?
Nagaratna.
Yeah, please.
ಸರ್ ತುಮಕೂರು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ನಾಗರತ್ನ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಈಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ವಾಟರ್ ನೀರಿಂದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರೋಟರಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಂದಾನೇ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಹಲೋ
ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಆ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರಿಗೆ ವಯಸ್ಸಾದವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ರೋಡಿನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಡೀ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಾಗ ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಮೆಥಡ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಹೌದು, ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಪಗೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮು, ತಾಲೂಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್, ರೋಡ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್, ನಿಮ್ ಕಾಲೋನಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಆಗೋ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಬಂಗ್ಲೋ ಇರೋ ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಇಂಥದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದು ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಗುವಂತ ಲೀಫ್ಲೆಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್
ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆಸೆ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಇದಾರೆ, ಥ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅದೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು.
ಖಂಡಿತ ಸರ್. ನಾನು ತುಮಕೂರಿನಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ 17 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಈ ಒಂದು ರೋಟರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ರೂರಲ್ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಟೀಚರ್ ಆಗಿ ಈಗ ರಿಟೈರ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. 3 years ಆಯ್ತು. ನನ್ನ ರೋಟರಿ ಒಂದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾನು 17 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ತಗೊಂಡು ಈಗ ನಾನು ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್.
So nice. Thanks. Okay. You can get in touch with ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಓಕೆ, ಖಂಡಿತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, friends. That was a wonderful session on water saving concepts. we, on part of Rotary District 3190, we thank B.O. Prasanna Kumar, the chairman of the IPA Bengaluru chapter, for sharing his thoughts, his views, and also he will be in regular touch with us because now IPA is a part of Rotary in the water saving mission. Thank you. I thank each one of the participants who have attended this presentation today. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prasad. Thank you for arranging this excellent program, and you have been doing continuously one after one. Really, we thank you and appreciate your interest. And as the director of